Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to be doing this kind of sexy, creepy clown for you guys. So to start off, I'm priming my face. I'm using my Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer all over my face, and then I go in with the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer just to meet T-zone where I have larger pores. And then I am going to color correct using my NYX concealer in the green shade just to help conceal any of my acne scarring and active breakouts. And then I'm going to go in with my favorite foundation combination at the moment. This is my Lancome Tint Idol foundation mixed with my NARS All Day Weightless Luminous foundation. And it just gives me the most perfect canvas. And I'm just blending this out with a damp beauty blender, and I'm kind of speeding through all of this, otherwise this tutorial is going to be super long. And then I'm going in with my Anastasia stick foundation. This is in the shade Almond, and I'm going to use this to cream contour. I really wanted kind of like a heavy contour for this look just because we're going to have so much going on. I just felt like it was appropriate. So, you know, feel free to cream contour if you'd like. If not, you can totally skip this step. It's not entirely necessary. But just taking that, you know, to the hollows of my cheekbones, around the perimeter of my forehead, down the bridge of the nose, and then I like to blend this out with my damp beauty blender as well. And as you can see, this just gives you a nice flawless contour. It blends out super easy. I'm using a Tweezer Man brush to blend out the nose contour. And then I'm going to go in and conceal and highlight a bit. I'm using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is in the shade Light Neutral, I believe. And just blending that out with my damp beauty blender as well. And this is just going to start bringing some dimension back into the face. And of course highlighting down the bridge of the nose, the center of the forehead, down the chin as well. And then I'm just going to set that with some RCMA No Color Powder. And I'm just setting directly under the eyes. And then I'm going to go in and put some High Beam. This is from Benefit. This is a liquid illuminator. And I'm just taking that to the high points of my face. And this is just going to serve as a nice base for when I go in with a powder highlight later on, but it just gives the skin a nice luminosity. And just taking that again to the high points of the face, and now I'm going to go back in and set the rest of my face using my Makeup Forever HD pressed translucent powder. And I like to use a powder puff and just press my foundation into the skin, and this really helps to minimize my large pores as well. So just press that into all of the areas, like in my T-zone, especially where I get more oily. Then I'm going in with my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm just taking this and setting that cream contour that we did earlier, and just bronzing up the skin as well. So using just a big fluffy brush from Morphe, and just bronzing up the skin. And then I'm going in with the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm taking the lighter of the two contour shades and mixing them together, and I'm using an Eco Tools fan brush just to deepen up that contour. So taking that to the hollows of my cheekbones, around the perimeter of my forehead, chin, and jawline. I'll take a little bit under the bottom lip just to give it a little more like of a plumping effect, and down the sides of the bridge of the nose. And then going on to the eyes, I'm setting my eyelids with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and this is just going to make sure that my shadows last all day and do not crease. And then I did set that with some translucent powder. And then I'm going in with this shade from the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. This is called Raw Sienna, and it's just a nice like caramel shade. I'm just dusting that as my transition color. And I'm using my Sigma E40 blending brush just to diffuse that color into my crease and softly blow that out. And then I'm going to go in and start deepening things up a bit. I'm going in with this shade called Violetta from the Anastasia Master Palette by Mario. And I'm just taking that to the outer V, and then slightly deepening up the crease, just kind of dragging it in a bit. Then I go back in with a fluffy blending brush just to softly diffuse everything out, make sure everything is nice and seamless. And then I'm going in with my Too Faced glitter glue, and I'm packing that to my entire lid area. And then I'm going to go in with this beautiful purple shadow from Motives Cosmetics. I believe this is in the shade Chameleon, but I'll list it down below in the description bar for sure because I can't remember. But just packing that to my entire lid, and that glitter glue is just going to really help to intensify the shadow and make sure that it stays in place. And then I'm just blending out the edge to make sure everything is nice and seamless. And then I'm putting a little bit of this deep plum shade on the outer V just to deepen things up a bit. This is by Anastasia. This is from the Self Made palette. And then I'm going to pop on some lashes. These are the Velour Fluff and Dolled Up. I did my winged liner off camera as well as my brows. And now I'm going into the lower waterline and I'm taking Motives Gel Liner in LBD. And then going into my Lorac 2 palette, I'm taking that plum shade and starting to dust this into the lower lash line and just smudging it into that black liner as well. And now that the base of the eyes are done, I'm starting to map out the designs. I'm using my NYX Wonder Pencil just to kind of get a guide of where exactly I want everything to be, make sure everything is nice and even before I go in with my black liner. And here I'm using my Motives LBD Gel Liner to start tracing out my designs. And I believe this is like a paintbrush that I picked up from like a craft store. I just felt like it worked best and gave me the most control instead of using like a really small like liner brush. But use whatever works best for you. And I did drag the design down and connected it to my wing liner. And I'm taking this black eyeshadow from Anastasia called Noir, and I'm just packing that on top of the gel liner. That way everything stays in place, it mattifies it, and it's not going to be smearing throughout the night. And then I'm slowly starting to kind of like cut my crease with that black eyeshadow, and just starting to blend things, softly blending from like the corners of the black gel liner and just shading everything nicely with that black eyeshadow until you get like a nice smooth gradient effect from the dark, and then it should get lighter the closer you get into the eyes, and just slowly blending everything in with the purple as well. And now I'm going in with the this shade called Urban. This is from the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I'm starting to dust this on my lower lash line. This color is absolutely beautiful and just gives you like that nice, fun, vibrant pop of purple. So I'm just starting to drag it down and blending that downward with a big fluffy blending brush as well. You kind of just want it to go from like dark to light as it fades downward. And I'm taking a little bit of that plum shade from the Lorac 2 palette to deepen up the lash line. And now going in to do my designs on the bottom, again taking that black gel liner and just taking some triangular shapes and then filling them in. And now I'm taking this glitter. It's like a beautiful iridescent purple glitter that I picked up from the craft store, and I'm using my Too Faced glitter glue to start packing that on. I first use a brush to kind of draw on where I want, you know, the glitter to stick, and then I just pack on the glitter with a brush. And I was kind of going for like a waterfall, like tear, I don't know, like tears coming down from my eyes or something like that. So just making these little designs and packing on the glitter in the areas that I wanted. And then I'm going to go in with this purple glitter gel liner from NYX to start drawing on just like some more downward lines, and again just kind of giving it more of like that tear-like and waterfall appearance. And of course popping on some mascara. I'm using my Tarte Lash Paint Mascara. And then I'm going into the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit, and I pointed to Blue Moon, but I'm actually using Purple Horseshoe for the inner tear duct highlight. So just packing that on heavily. And then I'm going to go in with these like little iridescent gems, and I'm gluing them on with some lash glue and just placing those at the tips of each of the little triangles on the top and bottom of my eye. And then going back to the Moonchild Glow Kit, I'm taking Pink Heart and I'm highlighting my high points of my cheekbones. It's not really picking up on camera, but it looked beautiful in person. I also took this down the bridge of the nose, to the tip of the nose, and Cupid's bow as well. And the camera is not doing any justice for this highlight right now, but it looked so gorgeous in person, and it just tied like the whole look together. I just love like the iridescence that it gave. And of course I have to be glowing whether it's Halloween or a regular day. I had to add some highlight. And then I'm going in with this rosy pink blush. This is from the holiday Tarte blush palette that just came out, and I'm just taking that to my cheekbones, and it's just a beautiful like rosy pink shade. So you can use any blush that you have that's similar to this. And then I'm going back into the Urban Decay Electric palette, and I'm taking this beautiful pink shadow and I'm just popping that to the center of my nose. And I did wet my brush a little bit as well, just to kind of pack this on and really get it nice and pigmented. And then I'm going to go in and trace this with my Kat Von D tattoo liner. just to give it a little bit of definition. Just take your time when you're lining the nose. It was so hard to get like the perfect little circle, so my line did get a little bit thicker as I went, but just try and make it as even as possible. And now going on to the neck for my little collar piece, I'm going in with a white paint, and this is actually just like a cheap cream paint that I picked up at the Halloween store. I didn't have a chance to go buy, like actually find a nice paint, so I made it work. I just had to layer it on. I would let like one layer dry and then just go on and pack on some more. And then I'm going in with my NYX Wonder Pencil and kind of tracing out the little ruffles at the edge just to give me a nice guide. I feel like this made it a lot easier. And then I went back in and filled in, you know, all those little areas with white. And this part doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be like entirely opaque because we are going to go in and do a lot of shading and just give it a lot more dimension and bring it to life. So this part is not as important, but just filling in all those little rivets. And then I'm going to go in with some black face paint. I believe I'm using a Ben Nye face paint just to trace the edges of this. And I found it was easiest to use, again, like a thin paintbrush. I just felt like that worked the best for me. But use whatever you have. You can use like a black gel liner, black liquid liner, whatever works for you. And then I'm taking whatever's left on the brush and I'm starting to draw some lines with that black paint. And I'm doing it kind of like in a more of like a vertical, no, not vertical, like diagonal motion, I guess. And I want to do it to where it actually looks like the collar is sitting on your neck and kind of like, you know, flares out. And then I'm going to go in and do some shading. I'm using like a taupe shadow and a gray eyeshadow and just shading in the areas where you would see like little hollows, kind of with like the rivets and ruffles of the collar piece. And this was actually inspired by Anna Lingis from Instagram. So I'll link her info down below if you're interested. And off camera I did some like black paint that I dripped down from the top of the collar, which she had, and I thought it looked really cool. This is also loosely inspired from like TinaKProMUA, if you guys follow her on YouTube or Instagram. It's kind of like a mesh of the two looks. But now for the lips, I'm going in with the Kat Von D. These are the mini liquid lipsticks. This is LUV. And I first went in with that shade, but it wasn't exactly the color I wanted. So then I went in, this is her new shade. This is called, what is this? This is Roxy, and it's more of like a true grape purple color. So I filled in my lips with the Roxy. And then I decided that I would go back in with LUV, which is more of like a bright violet color. And I took that to the center of the lips to give it more of like an ombre effect. And then after you do that and get the lips, you know, exactly how you want them, then you're going to want to go in and line them with black. So I'm using that Motives gel liner again, and I'm taking just like a, this is a very fine, this is another like little paintbrush that I picked up, I believe at Michael's. So just lining the lips, and then I did elongate the sides of the lips, and you want to just give it like more of like that creepy smile. And then I'll fill in the black on the outer corners, and then I'm going to start feathering it in to give it more of like an ombre faded effect as well. And you can overline your lips, you can do whatever you want, you can get creative with this, but I thought like the mouth just really tied it all together. And basically this is the completed look. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out if you aren't already. And I hope you guys have a happy and safe Halloween. Bye guys!